you can identify or you can recognize the time of the verb, you can recognize the tense of the sentence just by looking at the verbs. And the verbs can be auxiliary or the main verb. For now, I'm going to tell you about different tenses of auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are also called helping verbs. There are a number of auxiliary verbs such as am, is, are. Am, is, are the auxiliary verbs that belong to the present tense family. When you change am and is into past tense, both am and is become was. And when you change are into past tense, it becomes were. So was is the past form of am and is, and were is the past form of are. And was and were belong to the past tense family. Now, there are three forms of verbs. All verbs have three forms: present, past, and past participle. So when you change was and were into past participle form, third form of verb, they become been. So been is the past participle or third form of was and were. It's very simple. You can take a screenshot of it for your better understanding. And all together, am, is, are, was, were, been, all together they are called be verbs. Am, is, are, was, were, and been are all together called be verbs. Similarly, there are other auxiliary verbs like does and do. Does and do are the auxiliary verbs that belong to the present tense family. Does is used with singular subjects and do is used with plural subjects. When you change does and do into past tense, it becomes did. So did is the past form or the second form of does and do. Now, what is the third form of did? The third form or the past participle form of did is done. So this is the past participle form of did. Done is the past participle form of did. Now, do, does, did, and done. These verbs all together is called do verbs. So we have completed two verbs so far. One is be verbs, am, is, are, was, were, and been, and do verbs, that means does, do, did, and done. Now let's go to the next verbs. Now let's talk about have verbs. Have verbs have two forms. They are has and have. Has and have belong to the present tense family. Has is used with singular subjects and have is used with plural subject. When the subject is singular, use has. When the subject is plural, use have. That's very simple. Now when you change has and have into past tense, both has and have become had. This is the past form of has and have, and this is also the second form of verbs as well. Now when you change had into third form, it becomes had itself. So had is the past form as well as past participle or third form of verb as well. And all these verbs together, has, have, had, and had, all together are called have verbs.